But if we're live, hi guys, how's everybody doing today? Hope you're having a good week.
I am doing fantastic, having a wonderful week.
All right. It's been a interesting week for me, but we're not here to talk about that too much, unless if you really want to go into my real-life backstory.
Only if it's going to inform what you do in the game.
Exactly, it will not. No, instead we're just going to go back into Pathfinder, the Ironfang Invasion. I'm with a group of intrepid and somewhat frightened and confused adventurers. I don't even know right now. Right now you're all just like in the middle of the woods, kind of afraid of hobgoblins, I guess. Maybe. Is that like kind of accurate?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right. And, Justin, you're not in the Roll20, just so you know.
Now I am. I had it pulled up, just not logged in.
Oh, okay. Just letting you know. And if you guys want to do a quick introductions for yourselves, let's start from left to right in the order of I have you here, starting with Ken.
Oh, my name's Ken. I suck at introductions, and I'll move this right along to the next guy.
All right, go ahead, Gary.
Gary, still playing half-elf fighter Coriel Bowden, and that's about it. That's what we've got so far.
Justin.
All right, I am Justin. Myself, I'm the GM over at One Battle Roll, plus I play here on a very regular basis. For this game, I am playing the lovable and shit-disturbing for Val Novelwood. You wouldn't be able to tell it by his demeanor, but he is a elven wizard.
Swears by it. Arkloyd.
Hello, I'm Arkloyd. I play Anton Arts, the human rogue. He's currently caught between the impulses of looking for a way to make this situation profit himself and getting the hell out of here.
Interesting. It's an interesting scenario to be in right now. And last but not least is, of course, Theta.
Yeah, playing Krog Ventar. Just a dude.
Just a dude with the giant hammer. Don't forget the hammer. Anyway, when we last left it off, you guys were given refuge in Anar, the Druid's Grove, who led you here. It is basically a very small place, very few spots really for making maybe a permanent camp, but it is at least a little bit secluded in the Fangwood Forest. This was after a terrible night where hobgoblins out of nowhere just started attacking the town of Phaendar was just the night before. And while you were able to escape, you were able to bring a little bit of supplies from Phaendar itself, as well as several tag-alongs coming with you. One of which is a former ranger who worked with a group of rangers in this parts. Her name is Aubryn the Green. And she has suggested that maybe we should try and contact the rangers that are actually in the forest right now and see if we can get some help. Because they would probably be the best bet to maybe combating these hobgoblins, or at least finding safety. And that's kind of where we left it off. I know there was some talk in the chat pre-game on whether or not this is the plan to go for. I leave that all up to you to argue it if you want.
I know last week we talked about possibly scouting out like different towns or whatever. I don't think we ever came to a real decision on what we were going to do. Well, the forts. We were looking for the forts.
Yes, Aubryn did mention that there are ranger forts somewhere in the forest, but she does not know where they were. That's like for like those that are like in the higher ups on that. So you need to find a ranger who hopefully knows where they are. That's a different story altogether.
Well, I know that I think it's smart if we find a location that we can start to build an outpost that we can move outwards from and have it be safe to go back to. Big old tree, build up in the tree, so it's hard to get up into it. something that would deal with fire well because of H.
Anybody else have a thought?
Yeah, I'm actually going to disagree to that, being that this is my sacred grove and home.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying we go find somewhere, not here. I don't want to build it in your house.
Oh yeah, I'm another druid. I should have said that during the introductions. I apologize.
That's like you said. You're not good at introductions.
Yeah, all right.
It's all right, man.
Oh yeah, no. I don't want to. I don't want to build it in your house.
So the you do have like a whole group of tag-alongs with you. I gave you a whole breakdown of what they are. Some of those notes are in the Roll20, as well as I put them on Discord for you. And I also put in like the survival mechanics in this. So like you can actually assign all of the NPCs if you want, like specific roles for a day, while you guys go gallivanting, doing whatever you want. You can go scouting for days and just like leave them to their devices. It's up to you. I leave those choices to you.
I say we give them specific roles, and then if we have to adjust it, we can. But then we don't have to worry about it as much.
Oh, there's what, 15 of them?
16.
16, and there's 5 of us.
Because there's that new guy.
Yeah, the Erdan, the Molthune spy, kind of just showed up, and after grilling him and kind of doing like a bad cop routine, I guess. I'm not really sure what was happening there.
I'm just saying that's exactly enough for 3 of them to stand around us as body armor.
You can do that. But yeah, you have 16 people. And the roles are like building shelter, hunting, and foraging for extra food, because you will need food and whatnot. Patrolling, making sure that nothing is attacking you. And when you do start moving out, we're going to go to the big hex map, and we're just going to do some hex crawling on that. So each like hex is going to be like 7 miles or whatever terrain. I forget the actual number. I put it on, and we'll go from there.
So I think if we set people to roles, then we start actually doing what we're gonna do. Then I think we're good, because we really only have 2 roles right now that we need to even worry about.
What's that?
Gathering food and staying in the base / patrolling. Because we're not looking to stay in this location.
Yeah, who would want to live here?
Well, the druids did seem to abandon it, so.
Yeah,
I know, right?
even the druids didn't want to live here. What kind of shitty place is this?
So if we're going to try to establish some kind of a base of operations, Rob, could I do like a knowledge local, or I don't have geography, just local. Could I try to do a check to see if there's anything that I would know about between here and Long Shadow, any kind of like natural feature or terrain that might be someplace that we could at least get to now to hole up and dump some of these people off while we try to figure out what it is we're going to do?
Yeah, go ahead, give it a shot.
Right.
While he does that, can I do a similar role but use knowledge geography?
I'll give for different results. Yes, I can give you 2 different things with those.
Okay,
Hell
so
yeah!
Here we go. Local. It's a 14 local.
22
Ooh.
knowledge geography.
All right, I'll do the local first. Coriel, mostly because of your work with the militias and the armies, you do know that there are like very small throp type settlements, and where they might have like half a dozen people living all along the banks of the river near Meredith. But like not enough to like maybe like drop off people permanently. The only other things that you can think of between here and Long Shadow might be like a couple of scattered woodcutter camps that might be within the Fangwood itself. In fact, you actually know the location of one that's at least like maybe 2 days west that you can check. It's not that big though, but it might at least provide some supplies or cover that can give you a better sense of direction of where to go. But outside of that, like all along the plains and whatnot, there's barely anything. It's just like maybe like one homestead here or there that doesn't really provide a lot of cover. For Vel, the geography roll is interesting. You know, like, and I'm actually going to do this by demonstrating it with the map.
Yep.
So you should see the hex map now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we got to get you a token. But you guys are like somewhere in here right now.
Okay.
So along this river is called the Meredith River. Before it like turns into a river over here called the Inkwater. This is like the border to Molthune. So this entire area over here is Molthune. This is where Phaendar was, but right now it's occupied by the Hobgoblins. I have their banner there. Over here is Long Shadow, which is the nearest largest town. Most of this area, you know the same thing. The plains here are relatively bare. Like there's no real cover. You might have like this, like the odd homestead or small, like little, like mini villages along the river, but they're really not much there.
Okay.
And you also know near Long Shadow, as you get closer to this area here, is what they call Ogre Holes. And like with the your geography roll, you know that they're called Ogre Holes for a reason, because ogres live there. So that might be a problem if you do try to cross closer to Long Shadow, especially like maybe not along the river. You might be lucky, but going just like slightly north might be a problem.
Okay.
Within the Fangwood itself, you do know of two things. One, that the southern part of the Fangwood is relatively safe. And I say relatively, you know, safe for like the occasional like creature or, oddball like sort of monsters that come here or there. Mostly because of the ranger patrols by the Trenchado Rangers. Deeper in the Fangwood, it gets a little bit dangerous because of something that's been nicknamed the Dark Blight.
Okay.
So, like, very, like, far up over here. Far up into the Fangwood Forest. Long ago, like, there was, like, this whole legend of, like, just some sort of, like, fungal blight happening in the forest that has spread over the centuries. It's never been, like, near the edges, but the rumor is that it's deep in the forest, and if you go too deep, you'll get caught in that.
Got it.
But where you are right now is relatively safe as far as everyone's aware, you know, so long as like there's no hobgoblins around. But you haven't seen any since the night that you ran away.
Okay. Knowing the local area, we're gonna head to the city. We gotta watch out for ogre holes. Those have ogres. If you didn't know, I think they made them because they're called ogre holes. Just so you're aware.
Actually, with the geography, you would know that they basically took over like mine shafts and things like that as like their own dens.
Yeah, it started off as mining shafts, but you know they renamed them ogre holes because ogres like them. Ogres. But my vote is that we go a little further into the Fangwood. Don't get to the point where there's like the fungal blight that'll mess you up. But that we find like a series of large trees that isn't a druid's grove. And we build a base of operations in the trees. Because then if there's an assault or people try and come, we can have ladders and we can just pull them up.
Mm-hmm. I do propose that a number of us do make our way to Long Shadow to at least warn our neighbors of the incoming problem. If not, collect supplies and bring back help.
Ladders are very difficult to find when you are girded for war, especially rope ladders. I would suggest we build our houses on the soil.
But I want to make tree houses.
You can have your own treehouse. I'm going to have one on the ground.
But then you can be easily surrounded.
All right, I'm going to suggest that we Oregon Trail all these people to the nearest town.
Which would be Long Shadow.
That's Long Shadow, for the record, is roughly 70 plus miles to the northwest. So it will take you
9 days.
about, I was going to say about like 10 days, but yeah, like 9 to 10
According to
days.
the marching rules. That is 8 hours a day without strenuous activity.
Yeah.
You can push harder than that, but you don't need to. It's still 9 days.
Okay, well, if we're doing that, we can at least mark a place where we're gonna try and do anything from. Well, if we head back. Treehouse.
Well, I mean, we could just hold up in Long Shadow.
I mean, essentially, the town is on the river, correct, Rob?
Yeah, it's near the river, yes.
Yeah, so we could follow the river. I mean, there should be food along the way. I imagine people know fishing. And take ourselves away from the town that just got attacked and head up that way.
But we have to do something about the tower.
Yeah, that's why I said we could find help in Long Shadow.
Okay. That makes sense.
Little boys and treehouse dreams.
So I guess like the decision is to actually head out of the woods and then go to Long Shadow.
It's going to be hard feeding 21 people with just fishing, though.
How many days worth of provisions do we have?
One.
1 day? Well, I mean, we can get, 1 day for all the people or 1 day for a number of people?
All the people. You have 21, yeah, actually, you still don't have enough. You only have 20 provision points left, so you're actually short 1 right now.
Well,
I know who's not eating. The spy.
Either way, that's still enough to get us 6 days painfully 6 days, but it'll get us 6 days without anybody collapsing or anything, which will leave us 3 days short.
I mean, we could
Kid's gonna grow up sometime.
We could take a consensus from the group to see who's good at what. So maybe we have a couple of hunters in the group, or maybe we have a couple of fishermen that should increase the odds of getting there.
I mean, one hopes that these inhabitants of a former city on a lake, city on a river, would have been good at fishing at some point.
Well, if you guys want to do that, I'm gonna spend some time with the kid while you guys figure that out, because I'm not worried about who does what. I'm worried about after that.
You should see a Mpc list and a bunch of info on that right now. Basically, the 3 that are deemed warriors would be the 3 like hunters in the group.
Yeah.
So you got the 2 half elves and 1 human that do that. For the most part, a lot of the people are just like skilled craftsmen, like whether they're farmers or woodcutters type of stuff. Like they can fish, but they're not good at it, if that makes any sense. And the rest are, you have 1 person that actually came from the Temple of Aristil. She was an adept. And the rest are either a mix of merchants or craftsmen in their own right. The only real craftsman in the group besides Forvel would be Kinning, the dwarf.
Yep.
So.
So while the rest of the group would figure out, like, who to place what and in charge where, Forvel would be spending time with the one young child that came with us.
Uh-huh.
And since my profession is teacher, I'm gonna start to teach that child Celestial.
You're just gonna teach him a random language after a traumatic event?
Yeah, I'm gonna teach the child Celestial.
How old are you
Oh,
again?
goodness. Who's what?
So how old are you again?
I am 14.
You have a profession?
Dude, I've been kicked out. I've been kicked out since the age of 9. I've had to survive somehow.
Yeah. Sounds like you're a hobo. Not
I am.
a working man.
I am. I'm a hobo who does what he can and can also teach people how to speak to angels.
Well, see, the longest that we wait around here, talking about who's doing what, that's the less time we have to move, and the more provisions that get wasted.
You can attempt to leave tomorrow, and you can actually spend some time today hunting to gather extra food so you can go on the march, or you can just leave right now and do it on the march itself.
Or some of us could just leave right now, and the rest of you could figure out something to do here.
You can do that too. If you want to split the party, I have no objections.
If we're doing that, I'm staying.
I mean, because it does sound like a couple of you have leads on something here in the forest that could help.
But all we knew about in the forest was a fungal blight.
That's if we go too far in. We're nowhere near that. Yeah. We're nowhere near that. We can still go a little deeper in, find solid locations, and then build around it. And we can even have stuff up in the trees and stuff on the ground, as long as we have a spot that we're able to fortify around, and somewhere that we can have as a backup if the lower levels get overrun to keep us safe. We're good, because those big trees aren't going to get cut down by anything.
How many guards did that town have when they got overran?
None.
So they had no defense whatsoever. They just got swept away.
Yeah, they were in party mode.
I mean, it's a frontier town in the middle of a harvest. Like, everybody can, like, defend themselves if they really wanted to. And this is stuff that they've done previously. Actually, everybody running into the woods to regroup and then just, like, do, like, guerrilla-style militia work is kind of normal around these parts. So, that's pretty much how it works around here. It's, like, very frontiersland land type of stuff.
Right, but who amongst you would want to make the trek to Long Shadow?
Coriel would definitely want to keep moving north. I mean, he's moving on the move anyways. He's going to want to put some distance between him and the hobgoblin army that just overran them in the middle of the night.
All right, I point to you, Coriel. I point to Garriott. I say, come on, we're going.
Point to a random NPC. He says, isn't it kind of dangerous going out in the plains like that?
All right, I point to a different warrior. I say, come on, you're going.
The other Tidal says, all right, I guess I'll go.
Where is this place again, out of character?
Northwest, about 70 miles.
Is it a city or some other location?
It's a large town, really.
Might I recommend also spending an aristocrat?
The more people that we take, that's more mouths to feed.
But okay, I just thought it was another person who might be able to help you track and survive.
This is a very shit region. That's why we're taking another warrior with us. Not somebody who doesn't get their hands dirty. You can deal with them. Come on, boys, let's go.
All right, so let me ask very clearly then, who's going to Long Shadow?
I think Coriel's definitely going to go.
Krog.
Okay.
And warrior number 2.
Krog, Coriel, you're going to take one of the warriors with you.
Yeah, I'm going to go too because I'd actually like to ask for assistance to kind of rid these things from my homeland.
Get all these people out of your grove.
Yeah. And these people aren't warriors. I don't think they're going to hold up too well against hobgoblins because they didn't do it too well the first time.
A couple of them were able to do some damage, but not much, unfortunately.
Anton wants to come with mainly because he'd be used to staying behind.
Benjamin's starting to think, like, if we're really gonna go, like, get me the fuck out of here, so he would join you.
So if the rest of the group is going, I'm still staying back. 'Cause,
Oh God.
like, his choice was to stay back instead of here because we have to deal with this tower.
My hope was that the PCs would divide and that the NPCs would divide among them, not leave one PC behind.
Wait, why do we have to deal with this tower?
Okay. I come from a military family. While my dad's an asshole, I've heard stories of things just popping out of nowhere and then crazy things happening.
It's called childbirth.
Oh,
What's that?
childbirth?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't know any of the details. I've never
When the
asked.
stork comes by and drops off your new kid.
That doesn't anatomically make sense. Either
I don't
way.
know what that word is that you just said.
Yeah. No. Like, all I know is that I don't like that tower, and I'm gonna punch it with intelligence to get rid of it.
Come on,
I'm
boys,
gonna
let's get out
mind
of here.
punch it.
Krog's like, all right, good luck, kid, and he just walks away.
I'm already on the road.
All right.
By the way,
Oh,
congratulations on making your druid grove right here next to an intersection of tracks. I'm sure nobody's ever found this before.
Auburn's like, well, we should probably. Auburn's going to argue we should press on to try and find the Rangers. So.
Oh, no, I agree. I think that's the direction that us that are staying here go. Because we can scout locations to build while we do that.
So. Okay, so I need right now, for Vel, I need one person from Team Long Shadow to do me a favor and make a diplomacy roll.
Don't think I have that.
Do I need to make one as well?
Ooh, no, I'm not the one to do that.
Oh, your
Okay.
background noise has gone to overdrive.
Yeah, I think it actually isn't registering my blue snowball right now. I think it is going for my actual just laptop mic, and I can't find it on here. I'm still trying to work it out.
Here, if I had to make a roll, so I will make one just in case.
Diplomacy. So if Anton, Korg, or
Not awful. Not awful, considering I have a -1.
all right, I'm just using this to determine who's going where, because basically we're splitting all the NPCs too.
Oh yeah, but only like one of the NPCs is coming with us.
No, you're getting more than one.
Fuck them. I said no, and I will intimidate anybody that tries to follow. With a with a take 10 of 21. You fucking stay behind. I'm not taking care of you sons of bitches. We got you this far. You stay with the kid. Kid's got more responsibility than you at this point. Warrior number 2, you get over here.
So the only two that are going with you are Benjamin and Tydell.
What's Benjamin?
That's Anton's buddy.
Oh, right. Can't say no to that.
That's perfectly fine with me. This kid's gonna prove them all wrong and get these people working together and building and
Quite possibly could be the only survivor. Who knows?
We'll see. So we'll start with Forvel then. What's your plan?
So my plan is for us to head to find the Rangers, but it's ultimately that we go in that direction, find a spot that we can safely build around,
Okay.
and that we can have some people then go scout to actually make contact and come back to, so we at least know where our central point is.
Okay. So how many of you are you all moving out of the grove then, or what are you doing?
Yes, we are all moving out of the grove.
All right, do me a
Because
favor.
while the grove is temporarily safe, I have a feeling it's probably not going to stay safe.
Okay, then. So on the I can't speak on the Nirmathas map here.
Yep.
Can you do me a favor and plop your token in? Because we'll use
Absolutely.
we'll use you as the moving marker. So like you're like right over here somewhere, right? According to Auburn, like the nearest redoubt is somewhere to the northeast.
Okay, so in that case, I think we would probably push for like here.
Here starting? Okay.
Yeah, we would push for there. So then it's like close enough to the redoubt, but at the same time, if something's happened to the redoubt, we're not right at it.
Ready? So now can you do me a favor and roll a d20 for me? Just a straight
Absolutely.
d20.
7.
Okay, I will keep that in mind then. So you're getting moving there. Cror, can you pop your token in here for a bit? Because we're going to use you as the marker for the other group. So what's your route? Where are you going? You're going to Long Shadow over here, right?
Yeah, just follow in the water. Unfortunately, the hexes are in 5-mile increments, and we can move.
They're not supposed.
Distance.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be 5-mile increments. I think that's just like a holdover from the map.
Because it also makes the Long Shadow 60 miles away.
It is not. It is more than that.
Yeah, about 70 or so.
Yeah.
Again,
So
we already know the amount of time it'll take. It's just going to be weird indicating that through.
So can you roll a d20 for me, please? A 10. Okay. I assume that you're like on like the bank of the river. We're like right over here somewhere, right?
Well, I put the token down where the encampment was that we were just in. So.
Yeah. So you're like on the edge of the forest over here then, or like over here?
Well, I'm certainly not moving closer to the tower building built in the remains of the town, no.
I mean, I don't know.
Come on, guys, this way to safety. Are we moving closer to the bad guys? No.
All right, so for Vel, I will do yours first, okay?
Hell yeah. Just so you know, I do have my new spells prepared for the travel. Or at least for the first day.
Cool. So you right out of the gate, like after like a full day, and I'm assuming you also split up the rations as well.
Yep.
So everybody had enough for maybe just one ration, and you can like organize with the help of Auburn, Kinning, and Jet. You can organize everybody else to like set up where we're going and whatnot. So I assume you're telling them to go hunt and to like help build shelters and all that kind of stuff.
100%.
All right, so just real quick then, I'm going to roll a couple of things, if that's okay. So I'm assuming that they're going to be doing survival checks for foraging and hunting.
And I actually want to make one amendation to what I said about teaching Celestial to the kid.
Yeah.
I actually want to teach Celestial to the group as a means to communicate when we're when we're in a fight.
Okay. That's an interesting choice.
Turns out you start getting in a fight with Celestials. Oh no, it's backfired.
If we're fighting Celestials, that's a whole nother problem.
That is a big problem. All right, you ready for... I'm going to roll a couple of rolls for the survival checks to see if you find some food. Not horrible. On your march into the woods, like you send like a couple of the folks out, and they are able to gain extra food. One of the commoners actually finds this lovely like blackberry bush in the middle of the woods that has plenty of like fresh berries to pick. So in total, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're getting 8 extra rations for everybody for the march right now.
Okay.
And are you going to be doing any scouting or no?
Scouting, yes. Also for rations, our list has 40, so we should be covered for 2 days. Unless that counted the day before.
I believe that counted the day before because you left with 40 rations.
Got it.
And you spent like 1 day of traveling to get here and all that stuff. So
that's now 20. And then I'll just we're at 28.
So I guess like a survival check.
Absolutely.
And if you want, you could shout it out to anybody else to make a roll for it too.
I'll shout it into our ranger.
Oh, Auburn, she can give it a shot. She's still a little sick, but she would be more than happy to help with scouting.
Yeah. Come on. Somehow I got a 20 with only a +1.
Yeah, Auburn is no help right now. She is still reeling from the effects of the attack. But you actually are able to discover some stuff. You actually find something. You find a house in the middle of the woods.
Ooh.
Let's see. I'm actually going to plop it.
A member of the Dark Brotherhood awaits within.
And it looks like just like a random homesteader that's been trying to like live out here. You actually see this old woman sitting on a rocking chair. She has like dreadlocks and everything, very unusual. And yeah, she's just there, really.
I think we'll approach and see what's up. But I think I want to bring Jet with me.
Jet will come by.
Because Jet's probably better at dealing with people than I am.
Alrighty. As the group comes closer, the old woman like looks up to you all and says, "I don't deal with visitors. Please continue to move on."
Well, that was mean. I was just gonna let you make sure you know that like hobgoblins are going crazy and built a tower in the town.
Down near Phaendar?
Yeah.
Let me guess, you ran from the town?
Well, we fought first, but yeah.
Well, at least you're still alive. I wish you luck. What would you like Jet to say, if anything, here?
I'm thinking it would be more. I'm waiting to see if Jet has any insights into how to deal with this person before I just tell them that they really need to learn how to talk to people.
Oh dear. It's like telling grandma to be nice.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Let's see. Well, Jet notices. She actually whispers to you. She notices. It looks like she's not really moving that much from the rocking chair. Maybe if we offer to do some chores, she might be more helpful and talkative.
Oh. Do you need any shit done?
She laughs and she says, "Yes, actually. Are you willing to put in some work?"
If you'd help us out a little bit, yeah, I'd work for that.
Chopping wood.
Oh, I can try.
Better than not. Roll diplomacy.
Come on, real bad roll for me.
We'll see.
Natural 20.
Jesus Christ.
This isn't looking good for me if we come into a combat.
Oh no, she's not. She smiles and she says, "I could offer you some food and information if you want." Also,
That'd be cool.
and she looks you up. Are you wearing a robe, by the way?
Let me look at my gear. I have a traveler's outfit.
Okay, so you don't look like a wizard.
I probably do because I do have like a wizard spell book.
Oh, if you have the spell book out, yeah, she would notice that.
Yeah, and like my spell book is like it's like on my belt because yeah.
I could also perhaps fill your book a little bit.
Oh, that'd be dope.
I don't understand your language too well, but please come try and chop some wood. Can you roll a strength check, please?
I absolutely can.
What negatives will this have?
However,
All
it
right.
actually does. It actually doesn't have any. It's not a negative.
Okay.
However, one of my spell-like effects will apply.
Which one?
Physical enhancement. I currently have it set to my dexterity. I'm going to shift it to my strength.
Okay. Now and then you see like this old looking axe. It's slightly rusted, but still sharp on its end. And you see like a pile of wood that looks like it has been neglected for a couple of months almost. You can't really tell.
All right. And I will start off just the old-fashioned way. Strength. Nope.
Oh boy. Your first swing, you actually like the axe just like goes wobbly. And the woman laughs a little, says, "I apologize for that. It's hard for me to do it too at my age now."
Hold on, I'm gonna try something. What I want to do, I want to see if I can set up sort of a fulcrum where I can line up the wood and just pull down on something or push up on something to cause the axe to chop.
Okay. You can give that a shot. I'll give you a circumstance bonus for it if you roll another strength.
Hell yeah, I'll roll another strength.
Oh my god.
Nope.
Even with the bonus, you actually at least get it in the wood this time, but it looks like it's barely at the top. I'll give you one more roll.
At this point, I'm just panting. Oh god. Okay. Here we go.
A little better.
A little better.
From 2 1s to a 20, I think that's pretty good. You spend after you finally get a rhythm going, you spend about 2 hours literally chopping wood for this old woman in the woods. All the while, Jet actually makes some tea to share with you all. But I do need you to roll a d6 real quick.
Absolutely.
So it takes you you're finally getting the rhythm, but you are exhausted. You feel like your muscles are on fire. You're taking 3 points of non-lethal damage.
Oh, that hurts. Cool.
The old woman laughs and she says, "You're stronger than you look, young one."
Oh, when I'm done, I'm just like, oh god. Okay. Oh yeah, I have strength. But the old ticker. But don't. Oh,
So please,
that's a lot of effort.
sit down for a moment. Perhaps we can talk.
I'd love to.
You may call me Veld.
Okay, well. He's like
So-
checking his pulse and everything.
Yes. Oh, you'll be fine. You're young. You can take it. She basically spends like the next couple of minutes just talking with you and whatnot. And you can ask her questions if you want.
Yeah. So we're trying to find the Rangers, and we know the direction of them.
Oh, the
But-
Conchado.
Yes. More importantly, on my end, I'm trying to find a location in the forest before we get to the Blight, but that we could build around, like a big tree or something, and like build up in the tree and build at the base and like fortify it.
She scratches her chin for a second. She says, "Well, there's a lot of big trees out there, but I don't know if they're going to be sturdy enough for a tree house. At least not around here. You might want to check with the Rangers on that one. Although I have not seen them around as much lately. In fact, the last time they visited was about a month ago.
A month ago? That's a long time.
It is. Unless if there's somebody they're fighting, of course. But you know how it is around these parts. There's always something going on. That's why I came out here, just to get away from it all.
Yeah, but a month. Ooh.
I can tell you, there are some areas that might be of help with you. You said you ran from Phaendar?
Yep.
Let's see. Well, if you're looking for extra food or anything like that, there's actually a large orchard to the east of here that has a ton of apple trees that you could pick from. You definitely need to be careful, though. It usually is a spot where creatures gather, especially large insects.
Do you eat the large insects?
I wouldn't do it. Too crunchy for me nowadays.
It would be a good source of protein.
I believe you on that.
Okay.
There's also there's also another area. Gotta be careful, though. There's a cave system further north from here that's pretty secluded, but I believe it is already occupied.
Hopefully it's not more insects.
No, worse. Troglodytes.
Can I make a check to see if I know what those are?
Yes, go ahead.
What's the roll?
Dungeoneering, if you have it.
I do. Don't get into combat. Don't get into combat. I'm gonna die if I do.
Troglodytes are basically underground cave dwellers. They're usually coming from a place called the Darklands, which is, you know how like there's the Underdark in D&D?
Yep.
This is the equivalency of, really.
Okay, so troglodytes in Pathfinder are the same as troglodytes in D&D?
Kinda, yeah, except that this, like, apparently there's like a tribe that's actually closer to the surface in like a cave system that's further north from here.
Got it.
Is what she's basically saying.
I think in that case, my response during that, in that case, does the cave lead to the Darklands, or is it just a separated group?
I couldn't even tell you that. They've been there for a couple of months now, though. In fact, the Rangers kept talking about fighting them from time to time, as well as some trolls. You know how it is.
Maybe that's connected.
What do you mean?
Well, if the Rangers haven't come and they went to deal with the Troglodytes, if they were bitches and they couldn't handle them, then maybe they died in the process.
Your colorful language is very unusual.
Yes, sorry, I've been kind of raised everywhere.
I see. Well, I would just say be careful about all of this. Oh, one more thing. You definitely want to watch out. Deeper into the forest, there's some foul wolf layers and things like that around here too.
Oh. Understood. Thank you very much.
And you guys can keep going back and forth on this if you want. She actually will give you like 6 rations worth of food for your trouble.
Hell yeah.
That you can give for the group and whatnot. And she did enjoy the company, despite the fact that she seems like kind of like, yeah, just leave me be. But, you know, good to talk to somebody out of nowhere.
Yep, and at the end, when I'm leaving, I'm like, you're pretty cool for an ancient person.
And then our house stands up on 2 chicken legs and walks away.
Yes, Baba Yaga just like disappears now. No. She kind of waves back, I guess, and but doesn't say anything. She just finishes sipping the tea, lifts herself up from her rocking chair, and goes inside.
Normally people are, just as we're walking back, normally people are assholes, but she was okay.
Remember, around here, people want to usually be left alone unless if you do something for them, is what Jet tells you.
Alright. I'll remember that.
Meanwhile, Team Long Shadow, are you ready? So, you guys, I guess not. I guess so. You guys actually do come to within a day, you know, you spend your first day sort of just getting along from the river. And across the river, you do see, like, some smoke from Phaendar. You also actually get a good look at that tower that Erdan mentioned, and it's just like this, like, almost like a 60-foot black tower out of nowhere in what looks like was in the middle of Phaendar. Are you trying to hide from the hobgoblins still as you're like going through on the riverbanks, or are you just walking?
I mean, I assume we're a small enough party to be able to.
I think because we're small and there's not well defended, we should have tried to be stealthy about this.
We also need to be quick. Which I guess mechanically makes no difference. We're gonna get there in the same amount of time no matter what we do.
Yeah, you kind of are mechanically, so that don't matter. I'm going to assume that you're at least trying to be cautious enough so you don't get caught. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, we're not going to be just right on the river's edge, just like waving our arms around. We'll stay back a ways and try to slink by at least a little bit.
Like, hey, I'm here.
River's edge, launching fireworks into the air and making loud phone calls on my cell phone.
That's impressive, considering they don't exist in this world.
Plus, I'm the inventor of the cell phone. That's why they call me Jeremy Cell Phone.
Is the inventor of the cell phone really named Jeremy?
I don't know, but apparently I sold you on that.
All you gotta do is say it with enough confidence.
This is how you get me every time. Anyway. So I'm going to assume then you are trying to be somewhat cautious. You actually do come to an area, but that looks like an old logging camp. So you're maybe like, I'd say like a day and a half out of the Fangwood Forest. I hope you are marking the rations and whatnot that you did take with you and all that as well.
I'm not eating anything until day 3.
Okay, well, you are a trooper, so I believe it's on day 1 then you're starting to get those penalties, or is it day 2 you get the penalties?
I don't remember. We'll find out when something happens, and I'm forced to know.
Okay.
I just know that day 3 is the day you start taking damage. So until then, it's all ethereal.
You see a what looks like a tiny sort of like throp, or at least it would have been, but it looks like the buildings have been completely destroyed.
Yeah,
and did I say it wrong? Yeah, Thorpe. Then
Well,
I always call it a throp, but I'm probably saying it incorrectly.
The problem is we're playing a fantasy game, so you could be saying, like, what's a gazebo, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're talking about a small village that's abandoned, and you're talking about some sort of winged creature, and we got to make sure we're talking about the right thing.
If you can please put your tokens on this map around here.
This reminds me so much of one of my favorite games.
What the map does?
Yeah,
Shoots and ladders.
no. Legend of the Dragoon.
Oh,
Oh, good
The
game.
PlayStation game?
But specifically the point where you have to chop a log down and then you idiotically try to stop it from falling off of a cliff.
Are you guys healed up, by the way, or no?
If it's been a
we
day,
should
then
be.
I have one more hit point than I'm showing.
It
now.
has. It has
About
been
12.
about a day. Okay. So if you have not taken any other hit points or healing or anything like that, then you're just getting healed up 1 point a day. You come to what looked like it would have been a logging place, but it looks like the entire little village here has been burned. Like, just completely devastated and destroyed.
Cool, good to know.
In fact, what you see right now is like a longhouse that has like charred walls. And one site in particular catches your eye as you're nearby. It looks like somebody flayed all the skins of the people living here and just hung them like bloody all across the walls of the longhouse. Like there's like almost like 10 or so of these like different skins you see. Of human skins, by the way. Like your humanoids.
The King's Bannerman.
how many people have been hung?
You see at least like 10 different skins, but there's like no bodies at all, at least if you don't notice any.
Gruesome. Can I do a check to see if this is a tactic that I've heard about anyone using before?
Go right ahead. I guess this would... What kind of knowledges do you have?
I think I got local, nature, and dungeoneering.
What's your profession? Woodcutter?
Soldier and woodcutter, yeah.
Actually, if you roll profession soldier, please.
Okay.
Well, you know for a fact that this is something that Molthune never does. So, like, they would never be this brutal. You have never seen anything like this, so this could be anything. In your head, you're thinking, well, this probably could be the hobgoblins because they're nearby or relatively nearby. But, like, this is not stuff they were doing, like when they attacked the town, at least as far as you noticed.
Do I notice any tracks coming in or out of the town? Anything that shows where this might have come from?
That would be a survival roll.
All right, let me give you that.
Yeah, you do see tracks. All around this area over here, if you want to place yourselves, there's like a lot, like around the mud and like the blood, like what's left of the dried blood and whatnot. You do notice what looks like have like footsteps. Some are small, like humanoid size, but you notice at least one set that looks like it's a bugbear, just based off the size of it. So that actually is pause for thought. And the tracks, what you can tell from it, they actually head westward and north from this
Towards Long
position.
Shadow.
Westward a little bit towards Long Shadow, as far as you can tell, as well as north. Looks like there's a group that was here that split into multiple directions.